Hey folks, David Johnson from Superior Lapidary. Here I am sitting with a great big red bucket on my lap. Let me show you what I got inside. Right there. We have a whole bucket, roughly 3/4 full of agates. These are agates I purchased at the Moose Lake Agate Days Gem and Mineral Show. Actually from one of our other club members. These are just raw picked agates. You know, there's nothing super special in here. We'd consider them tumblers, but we might get some real surprises in here. There's going to be a couple of fascinating things. Can't wait to see what that one's going to be like. And as I look through the whole bucket, they're pretty much going to be the same thing. There's a nice bandy one. That should turn out pretty nice when I'm done. I'll show you one more here. Alright, so what's the purpose of today's video? It's not so much of a how-to. It's just to let you show what a bucket about yay full of tumble-sized agates can turn out, and the work I have to do to get them to be tumbled and pretty. There's going to be 4 stages of tumbling. Step 1, 2, 3, and 4. Real simple. Step 1, I've got about a 80 grit that I'm going to put in here. Just a black carborundum grit. And it's going to shape these pretty well. It's going to take all these high corners off. And it'll take one. Let's try and keep track of one. Let me go back to, I don't know, I like this one. It's got a little quartzy end on it. It's black and yellow. A little bit of red. Hopefully we can track this one all the way through. Alright, let's just go with the real basic, simple agate. As I hold this up to the sun, maybe you can right there. You can see through it a little bit. It's a little bit translucent. It's pretty neat. So it's just got kind of a neat shape. Let's see what happens to the shape of that one especially. So let's keep track of those two. It's got kind of a nice V pattern on it. Not perfect V, but nice. And after we're done with these, you never know. Maybe we'll cut them further, make them into cabs, or somebody else will. So I'm just going to show you the basic steps and tell you how long this takes. A hint, it's going to take 5 to 6 weeks for me to finish this up. The weather's warm today. It's t-shirt weather. In fact, the sun's out. It's cooking. Yellow jackets are flying around and driving me nuts. And by the time I'm done with it, it's going to be a lot cooler. I'll probably be wearing the sweatshirt. So these have been washed. So they're pretty clean. So there's not a bunch of dirt or other weird stuff in here. It's all just basically clean rock. This is, as it says here, number 1, 80 grit. Real simple stuff. I'm going to take, for this much, I think about a cup and a quarter. Now I grabbed my 3/4 cup. So I'll show you how exacting this is. Here's 3/4. And something like that makes roughly a cup and a quarter. This is considered a 12-pound barrel. Some people call them 14s. I'm not putting this on the scale. My tumbler will certainly handle it. And I add 2 more things. Now these are all similar in size, roughly speaking. There's not a lot of bigger ones and really not anything tiny in there. And almost every tumbling batch I do, I mix in plastic pellets. These will help take the little voids and stuff. And again, there's 3/4 of a cup and that much more. Again, it's not an exact science. But what these will do is get in between the rocks and help spread that grit around. It becomes a slurry in there, and it'll keep rubbing it from one rock to the next. And you can see there's a very little contact area here. You start taking a bunch of this stuff in the slurry and put it in between, your contact area greatly goes up. So you get more action. Oh, there's that one that we're going to watch. Keep an eye on that one. Okay, so there's that. The third item I need is water. How much water did I put in there? A cup, a gallon, who knows? It's somewhere in the neighborhood of a gallon. But I just get it so it's right at about the top of whatever's in the barrel. There's a couple little tips of rock sticking out. That's all. Again, not an exact science. You know, just so you have enough water in there to make a slurry, and this will certainly do. What do I do with this now? Big important step. This surface has got to be clean. All the way around, on there and the other parts. What I put on next, I've got a rubber gasket that's made just for this. You can buy these online. You can make them if you want. Buying them is easiest. This barrel is a tumbler barrel. I love these. These are pretty good. I don't think it makes a whoop of a difference whether you're using a lower tone, which sadly has gone out of business, or a tumbler, or some of the newer brands that are out there. Highland Park has got one. And there is the lid. You notice I've got it marked 1B. I've got all of my barrels listed. I really want to make sure this sits down well. If you do half a job at that and you leave something a little loose, all of your powder and water will leak out as it's turning. It's got 6 studs on here, use them all. Okay, now as I tighten them down, I got a pretty good grip. I do one, skip one, go to the next. Skip one, go to the next. Jump straight across to the opposite side. Skip one, go to the next. Skip one, go to the next. Okay, there. That wasn't all that hard, folks. We got one thing left to do. I got to put it on the tumbler. Let's go inside. All right, there's the monster. This is an old tumbler, homemade, but it's a beautiful one. I've had this sitting in my garage for actually several years. All I did, just a few weeks ago, I put a new cord on it because the old one was just frayed beyond belief. Yeah, it's just an electrical motor. I don't even know if it's a half or a quarter horse. Sitting on a steel frame, anybody could make a couple of pillow blocks, and these take oil on the top. They're not for a grease zerk. You actually oil these. A couple little bumpers here. I gotta see if this fits. Oh yeah, I've been using this on a lower tone barrel all along, so this is my first time throwing one of my tumblers barrels on it. Alright, well there it is. You can hear it does not make much noise. That is a beautiful piece of machinery. I think much better than the other ones, but not everybody's going to build their own. The next thing I'm going to do is go to the calendar on my phone. Let's see, today, August 21st. I think I'd like to go maybe 2 weeks with this or so. Maybe the 3rd would be good enough. There we go. I'm just going to add a reminder on my phone for September 3rd, and we'll come out and take this out and change it to step 2. And if I miss September 3rd by a day or two, again, it's not an exact science. Otherwise, we'll see you back in 2 weeks. Okay, I'm back. This thing's been rolling for a couple of weeks, and now it's time to go to step 2. So I'm going to pull this off, and I'll show you how I empty it out and start over for step 2. Alright, I've got my tools lined up. My tools consist of a couple of buckets. One is just an ordinary little bucket you can get from any place that makes donuts or whatever, pastries. It's a smaller size one, works great for me. And a second bucket that fits in it. And I've cut out the bottom and added a screen. So, that's easy to do. You can figure that out. Just pop rivet it in. That sits inside there. I've got a little screen type colander thing. I'll be using that. And I have to have somewhere for my rocks to go. So they're going to go into this barrel. I do put these on pretty tight. I've had a couple of failures. Stuff has leaked out. So they're going pretty snug. Kind of hurts my fingers when I tighten them down. Gasket peels off next. That comes off usually pretty easy. And into my bucket it goes. Set this aside with the red cover that just came off. Alright, there's a slurry in there. It's pretty wet. And you can see on top these are all the little plastic pellets I put in there. So they float. Now there's a bunch of them stuck within the rocks, and that's the hard part of getting this out. Alright, so this took me several tries to figure out how to do this for the wheelchair. And I've dumped some stuff, but there's a few that escaped. If I lean over well, I can grab the hose. Shake it up a little bit. I like to get as many of these pellets out the first time as possible. Just makes life easier. And yeah, there's a bunch on the ground, so I'll spend a little time picking them up. Now, what I do with these pellets, I got a gold pan. You can use anything you like. Screener. So I take all of these, and I don't want it to contaminate the next step. So I've got a set of these beads for all 4 steps. And invariably, no matter how much you scoop, you're always going to look in and see another bead floating around in there. Alright, so there they are. That's 2 loads of number 1 plastic beads. In fact, there's a couple on the outside of the bucket here. Might as well grab them when I can. Turkeys are everywhere. Run it up and down a few times. Oh yeah, I got a whole bunch. Because they came in with the rocks, they were stuck with the rocks. One. Okay. So now, we got a bunch of rocks in there. And they're still dirty. They still are contaminated with the number 1 grit. Well, but now that they've taken it out, there's another one more. Now, this is just full of, we'll call it the gray water. You don't put it down the drain, ever, 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 folks. I've got to do this in one foul swoop because I can't reach over, so I got to start it and into the flowers they go. Now I still have to clean these 2 buckets. Bucket goes into there. And there's very few agates in here, folks. I didn't put a lot in. Not for this first time around. Alright, there you are in the bucket. You can see there's a few floaters in there. That's still not clean enough. So this water can go. Get a little rinse before I put them in my bucket. You know, I was going to keep track of a couple of agates. That's looking pretty nice. I think this is one of them. That is gorgeous. And I'm not sure if this one was or not. Okay, now back to cleaning them out. Hi, bee. It's a honeybee. He's just drinking water right off my finger. Oh my gosh, that is so fun. Yeah, he's just getting a drink. Tickly. I hope he doesn't sting me. I'll cry like a son of a gun. Okay, I'm gonna let him fly away. There he goes. Alright. So the first group is clean enough to go into my green bucket. And there's still a bunch more, oh boy, still a bunch of pellets. I don't want too many rocks in here because I need to be able to get them clean. If you get too many, it just doesn't work. We're still getting plastic pellets. All right, back to the screen. Alright, looks good as far as pellets are concerned. None floating in here, so this can go away. I'm going to fill this up till the water covers the agates that are inside here. The water's very clear. Got no floaties. There's just a little bit of cloudiness to this water, so it's going to go. Not much. Now you can see why I put this little piece of plywood on my lap and a towel, because everything's wet. Plus I can carry things on here. So I'm going to pick one rock out of here. You can see there's plastic pellets stuck in it. Sometimes I get them out, sometimes they stick around for the whole 4 steps. So here's what I've got out of that. That's even just one little bandy end on the whole thing. Lots of quartz, but still a pretty agate. Then we got some with very nice banding. Boy, I should almost make a marble out of that. What do you think? I'll decide that later. Another one with the pellets stuck in a little pocket. That's not going to hurt anything. I've gotten rid of so much of the grit that I don't think there's anything in there. It's going to matter. There's a nice broken one. Beautiful banding on that. So, ready to dump this into my other bucket, and I'll rinse a few more. There's always little ones that get caught in the corners here. I don't worry too much about it. It's not a big deal. Alright. Same deal, this is going to go quicker. I'm just going to get plenty of water to get these things floating, the pellets. I like to get the pellets out. My plants really get watered. And there's one in here I've got to show you. I know one wife of mine who's going to like this one when it's done. She'll keep that. It's got some little eyes on it. I can't wait till that is finished. What I wanted to show you was this hummer here. That, oh, alright. Landed into my hair, sorry. I don't like bees in my hair. That is a banger, folks. Another broken bandy. Gorgeous. A lot of ordinary ones, just quartz inside, but yeah, it broke perfectly. Can't ask for anything better than that. There's one. That one's pretty terrific too. I love it. Overall, this is a pretty good group of tumbled agates. There's also yellow jackets flying around here. Now this style of barrel sits real nicely here, partially upside down. Empty. Awesome. The lower tone ones don't play quite as nice. Well, I like what I'm seeing in here. There's the bucket. Beautiful agate there. I'm not seeing anything too exceptional, but a nice group of tumbles. Now one question arises. I'll show you in a second. In the bottom, you can see down here a bunch of little teeny rocks, and they shine, they're red, so it's a lot of agate material, and they're tiny. I'm just going to keep running that through the tumbling process. I don't get rid of that stuff normally, and if it's even a little bigger, I keep it. I tumble everything. This isn't going to hurt the agates. It's agate on agate. It's just going to help spread the grit around, so there's no reason to get rid of that because they've already been together. So I'm going to dump that in the batch too. Water, pour a little up. Hey, there we go. Let's head back into the garage. Right there. Do that twice. So yeah, I buy my grip by the 5s. I've got one scoop in already. Battery died, so I don't know what you saw. But I need about a good solid cup. I have a half cup measure. So that was the second scoop I put in there. Alright, so I got my grit in here. Next I've got to put the pellets in here. So I go to my number 2 pellets. I keep them separated. And I put in, oh, that many. Whatever that happens to be. Now here's a neat thing. We're not going into great production yet, but anybody locally needs some grit. There's steps 1, 2, 3, and 4 in these little baggies, enough for a 3-pound tumbler. So we're doing that. And I'll be selling 3-pound containers of the different grits as well. Right now I've got number 2 and number 3 packaged up. And I've also got some tumbling media packaged up. Pretty soon I'll get the steps 1 and one of the steps 4, maybe the TXP, that's what I use, so I'll probably get that ready. So locally, if you're anywhere near Superior, Wisconsin and care to drive to my place, I can sell you some grit. I still haven't even worked out the price, but it's not too bad. It'll be cheaper than ordering it online. There, just enough water so I'm 95% covered up. A little extra, no big deal. Alright, first thing, rubber gasket. And make sure again your top is clean, there's no rocks that got stuck up here. That will mess you up. And check your gasket. And this one I've got labeled 2A. I've still got several 2 barrels, so this is number 2A, and that's how I keep track of them. Make sure it fits good. Okay, there she sits. Let's get her rolling. Okay, we'll see you in about 8 days. All right, well there's the end of step 2. We're going to go to step 3. So there's the slurry in step 3. Got to clean that out. That's the hard part. Alright, so there we are at the end of step 2. And I think right on top, this one is one we're going to watch. It's got a little bumpy on it. I like it. I think it's gorgeous. That's going to turn out great. Take another quick look. We're getting some nice shine on there. Of course they are wet, but you can tell they're starting to get glossy for the most part. Take a look at that one. I have an ugly one, but hey, it's great. And there you go. All that banding is showing up beautifully now. Even on this one, you look real close and you can see the banding. There's one that's a little mossy. Awesome. And there's one probably started off fairly ugly, but look at that banding is popping. It's real subtle, but it's there. Alright, and there's a bunch more way down deep in here, but we'll get back to them in a couple more weeks. Right now, I got to finish cleaning this out and load it up with step 3. So, we'll see when that's... Oh boy, just look. This is one that my wife loves. I hope this comes out good. But there are the teeny tiny eyes in here. Quite a few of them. That's awesome. So that one's going to stay in our collection. I love that. But I got to finish it and I got to find it later. Okay, there they are at the end of stage 2. All cleaned up. They only need a couple things. I got a little bit shy of a cup of powder. This is 500 grit, black silicon. You'll notice this barrel is a little different than the other one. This is lower tone barrel. Lower tone is actually out of business, but that's okay. All their stuff still works and you can get a lot of the parts for it, so I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, I'm going to put a little water in here, put the cover on, and we're going to get it rolling for another week till we go to step 4. Okay, I just put that in here, and it fits like a glove. This is an awesome tumbler. I'm going to make a bigger one like this. I love it. Okay, I am done with step 3. I think I'm a few days late. I had a busy weekend. So now, what day is today? About September 23rd. We are going to, we're going to change to step 4. Okay, step 3, going to step 4. The volume really hasn't changed much. Gotta wash all those little plastic things out of here. Alright, there's a brief look at step 3. Alright, these are coming out pretty clean now, folks. I know you've been looking at this one. That is a fabulous agate. And it's wet and glossy. It's going to stay fairly glossy, but step 4 is going to just make it pop. Another nice bandy there. Boom. Love it. That one's actually turned out kind of fantabulous too. Alright, there you go. Step 3 going to step 4. Alright, I'm going to put in some TXP, about 2/3 of a cup. As close as I can get to it. There's a strong 1/3. And there's a good 1/3. Step 4. Exactly that many. Okay, there we are, right at about the level of the rocks, or maybe even a little higher this time. Lid's clear. Good here. Even stretch these out a little. All right. Step 4. 4A is going onto the tumbler. Hey, it's backlit back here. Hey, next time I see you is going to be when I'm done with step 4. That's going to be about 7 or 8 days. And yeah, we'll take a look at all these agates and you can judge the outcome of my process. So we've lost a little bit of the fun out of doing this project. The temperature now, it's early October. Temperature's down into the low 50s. It's a little cold. I'm using cold water, but I still can't wait to see what I got going in here. Can't see too much, but that, oh shoot, that's what we got there. I got more beads to pick up. It's always something. And as soon as I have this barrel emptied out, I'm going to have a set of stage 3 rocks to go in here and do stage 4 for another week. My gold pan to put the beads in. There's a brief look at the finished product. Okay, now we're going to get to seeing what we really got. Oh my gosh. Let's look at these pretty soon, folks. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but inside of here there's a bunch of tiny bits. I save these. I'll show you my collection. Alright, these go in my bucket too. There's the finished product. I'll take them up on the deck and I'll spread some out on my table. Still got a few pieces left on the bottom. They'll dry out. Alright, folks. Here we go. Let's take a serious look at these. We're just going to kind of gloss over them in the beginning, then I'll take all the better ones and show you them separately. Alright, let's see what we see in here. Alright. It's nice bandy. I think this one I pulled out at one time. This isn't too spectacular, kind of ugly. A lot of quartz showing on that one. Boy, there's a real nice example of a water level banded agate. We'll look at the other side. That's pretty cool. Now this one is really nice. Love it. Alright, there is one. That's kind of a plain, ugly outside. Flip it and it doesn't get much better, but it definitely is an agate. There we've got a nice little top shelf agate there. It's tiny, but beautiful. Yeah, that one's kind of cool. On one side anyway. Hey, a little quartz in the middle. That doesn't hurt. Not quite water level, but it's got some real flat banding on it and a nice green color to the majority of the stone. That's pretty cool. There's some weird shape to that. Oh, we gotta see if my wife finds this. She loves eye agates, so maybe she'll get this one. Oh. And another cutie. We got some nice banding on a couple sides. Solid banding throughout that one. This is a gorgeous tumbled agate, but honestly, if this was sliced, you could get a fantastic piece of jewelry out of that. Some more banding on here. And a whole bunch of smalls. This one's actually quite beautiful itself. Oh, there it is. This one is, the top of this is beautiful. Little quartzy, yellow quartz on the bottom, but really a fantastic looking agate. Ooh, yeah. Some dark colors in there. Alright folks, I hope you enjoyed the video. I just showed you how I tumble rocks. This time it was a beautiful load of agates I bought at Moose Lake Agates in 2024. It's October 3rd today, so it's taken me a number of weeks to get this done. There are other methods you can employ and different cleaning methods in between, and there's a few different kinds of grit you can use, tumblers you can use, vibratory tumblers and all that. So if you want to learn about tumbling more, go visit the Michigan Rocks channel. Rob makes some fantastic videos and steps you through what you need to know about tumbling. This little video is just about what I did, and I just wanted you to see the results of a load of agates that I picked up at the Moose Lake Agate Days show in 2024. So, we'll see you next time.